What's up?
What's up,
How's everybody
man?
doing?
Hey, thanks for having me.
What's up, Yeti and Matt? Obviously, welcome everybody to the chat, and we're gonna be talking about a lot of Kevin Smith stuff today. A lot of Masters of the Universe. You know, if you watch my videos, you already know what's going on. But also, I might talk about I don't know, maybe some Invincible stuff. It's Invincible is pretty positive compared to the
Yep.
Kevin Smith stuff going on. So hopefully we get into some positive news as well. Also, maybe a little bit of Dune. Just depends on how long we end up talking about this Kevin Smith stuff. But what's up, PS Lord? What's up, man? But anyway, let's just start off by giving everyone's initial thoughts on the show. Just as a show. Let's just talk about it as a show real quick. So you can start off, Yeti. What did you think of the actual show? Did you even watch it? I don't even know.
Oh yeah, I did watch it. I did not like it. Not at all. There was so much in this show that just seemed to go in the wrong direction. Like you really have a He-Man show without He-Man.
Yeah.
And then they put the focus onto Tila, who is horribly unlikable in this. And it's not like you couldn't make that work, because I said in my other stream that there is a story to tell with Tila. Like there is something there, but they went about it the wrong way, because you really need to have He-Man start out front and center. And if this show was done as, say, a side story or spin-off, it probably wouldn't get the same type of reception, and it wouldn't leave that same, bad taste in your mouth.
Or if you just didn't lie about what the show was about. But I mean, we'll talk about that later, of course.
that too.
Yeah. I feel the same way, man. Honestly, when I was watching the show, I had already heard about all the outrage, so I already knew what to expect. And I went in expecting the absolute worst. And when I was watching the first episode, I was like, dude, this isn't even that bad. What's everybody talking about? Until Tila went away to continue her journey to become a feminist. And then I was like, oh, okay, this is what they're talking about.
Yeah, it was what bothered me the most was just that because I watched the preview trailer after I watched the series again, just to make sure that I wasn't like there was an overhype. And that preview trailer sold it, where this was a He-Man show. Like, that's what I got excited for. The art, the concept, like, all right, this looks badass. And that first episode, the whole way through, I was like, this ain't bad. Like, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then what they did to He-Man, obviously, and again, if it was sold and advertised correctly, overall the show is not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not the greatest. Like, for me, it was hard to really like Tila and kind of understand where she was coming from, just the way she acted based on everything. We can get into that later. But so besides all that, like, the show was mediocre, but it could have been an awesome show. And again, the second half may be fantastic. Who knows? I highly doubt it. But, I just don't know how you do that first episode the way you did. I don't know how I just don't get it. Just don't think.
We're gonna talk. Am I lagging already, man? That sucks. But we're gonna talk about the clips and play the clips a little bit later. But in one of the clips, he pretty much just spoils the second season, like the second part. Whenever he's like, He-Man and Skeletor fight again, or whatever he said. I don't even remember what he said, but he was like, He-Man comes back to fight again, and I'm just like, dude. And then he's gonna try to say that he's not worried about the negative reviews. You're worried about the negative reviews when you start spoiling the second season of the show. I know fans excited for it.
When you have to come out and specify that they are going to fight again.
Yeah.
Oh, no, He-Man's coming back. Don't worry. It's like, why did you say anything? Like,
he's like, Netflix isn't worried at all. We have 210 million subscribers, but Netflix is gonna kill me for saying this. But He-Man's coming back.
Oh yeah, because he did go into all those details about Netflix not being worried, because they said there was only 5,000 to 10,000 people having this negative response, which that seems so wrong.
Yeah,
because if you watch any of these streams, like say Clownfish TV, which he actually names in his interview video. They have way more than that in likes alone for just some of their videos on the subject. And you've got all these other streamers, Nerdrotic, Yellow Flash, that Star Wars girl, that Umbrella guy. They've all done it. And there are a lot more people out there that really seem to have that exact same feeling that I had when I watched it. It's just not everybody goes on social media and says anything.
Exactly, man. There's 5,000 to 10,000 people that you can count that are giving bad reviews, that are talking badly about the show. There's a lot more people out there that are thinking the same way that they are. Because most of us, let's be real, like most of the people out there that are watching Netflix aren't watching these shows and being like, oh, I can't wait to watch this and give a review on Rotten Tomatoes. No, they're just consuming content, and they're going to just decide in their head if they like it or not.
Yes.
Yeah. And, the average fan of this, right? They all know, like, when you say Masters of the Universe, even like just I would say like the normie, they all know, oh, what, He-Man? Like it's synced together. So
he's always on the cover of everything.
Yeah. It's like He-Man is the center of everything. And it's for him to sit there and say like, oh, we're not worried about it. Or for, it's all these articles to kind of run cover and say, oh, it's review bombing. It's always review bombing when the fans are against the critics. If it's the other way around, no one cares. No one says a word.
Yeah, it's absolutely, it's not it's crazy because it's only when it's one way. Like if the critics say it's bad and the fans say it's good, it's not review bombing in that case. And it's just, it's so ignorant to even say that, because if you just think, I'm saying it's ignorant, but it's actually, they're very well informed. Like they know what's going on.
No.
They know that these critics pretty much get paid under the table to say positive things about it's very much in their best interest to give these things good reviews, because they want the insider access, and they're not going to get that unless they shill for these companies, especially the no-name critics. Obviously, you have to give Disney all the best reviews. You have to give Netflix all the best reviews. It is what it is, man. Like, you just have to, if you want to get the insider access that you need to be a good insider, to be a good critic. You just have to have it, and you have to give good reviews to have that. So It's absolutely ridiculous to say it's review bombing whenever you're saying that it's a positive thing that you're in the presence of Captain Marvel. Like, it's not review bombing, man.
You don't want to put that in the same sentence of anything that you do. And he straight up lied about The Boys. The Boys was not review bombed at all. The Boys was a fantastic show if you've not watched it. And the only thing the complaint about The Boys was the way they released the release dates were. Like that was the only complaint, was like the time in between and all that. But nobody review bombed The Boys. That show is awesome.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I do remember the reports saying that, but if you go look at the Rotten Tomatoes, I looked at it yesterday and I don't remember what it was, but it's not bad. It's not a negative score. It's a pretty good score. But I do remember like the big trades coming out and saying that it's being review bombed, or that people were very mad about the release schedule. But I mean, come on, they're running a business.
Mad? Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all good.
But were they mad, or were they just kind of so excited because they got into the show and wanted to see what's next? Like it wasn't an anger. It was more like, oh, why won't you release this? That type of thing.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were mad. I think they were mad, but it's just like, those are the people that just have no understanding of what's actually going on. They truly just want all the stuff to consume at the same time. Like, you have to realize that they're running a business, and it just doesn't make sense for them to put out all binge-worthy content. Like, to have the binge template, that's just not the best business move possible. Like, Netflix is probably going to move away from that template as well, because it's just not the most profitable.
It's not even good for the show itself.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, if you take a look at a lot of these different shows, Netflix is a very good example, because they were doing the binge model. So consumers enjoy that, but then it leaves the public consciousness in, a week to 2 weeks, and nobody talks about it. But on that weekly schedule, everybody has to see it at the same time. You're not watching like, oh, I've only got to episode 10. And I'm back on episode 5. So you've got water cooler moments to talk about what the show is doing. You have some theories coming out. There's a bit more of that excitement that comes with the slower schedule.
Yeah, and it can really make or break a show if you think about it. Like, a lot of shows over the years have been made because of that weekly release schedule, and it's because of the hype on YouTube and stuff between the episodes. Like, something crazy happens in a show, and Invincible is a good example. Like, I didn't get into Invincible until one of the episodes I forgot which one it was. One of the episodes came out, and I was like, dude, that looks amazing. Like, I saw a Twitter clip, and I was like, I gotta watch this. And then I ended up loving the show a lot. So,
well, look at like Breaking Bad. You know, like most of those episodes, man, were all cliffhangers. Like, they all left you on like, oh, what the hell? And you had to wait till the next week to watch it. So it makes sense, but.
Well, or you know, Game of Thrones. Does anyone actually think Game of Thrones would have done nearly as well if they released the entire season at once? And you know, forgetting what it turned into,
it would have been ruined
in first 4 seasons.
Yeah, it would have been spoiled, and you know, once you release one season, it's over. People are talking about it.
Could you imagine the Red Wedding? There is no way that would have worked if it was all done at the same time.
Yeah, he also based on that comment you just highlighted, there was a clip too where he was bragging about killing He-Man twice.
Oh,
remember he was like, we killed him twice. How crazy is that? I was like, that's not a good thing.
Yeah,
I wouldn't brag about that at all.
Like, the whole show is about He-Man. He does no stepping aside, but he dies twice in the city. It's so stupid, man.
And then I made a video earlier about it where someone in the comments on his live stream, he's because he took 2.5 hours to explain how none of this bothers him, but someone listed every episode is literally Tila's journey, Tila this. Every single episode is listing her. And again, I don't even have a problem. Like, if they advertised it that way, fine. Then would I have watched it? Probably not. I mean, I might have just done a review on it, but I wouldn't have been as hyped about it. I wouldn't have been like so excited about it. But he completely baited everybody and all the old school fans, and he screwed up.
Yeah, I might have to get one of y'all to share these clips because my internet's not doing too well right now. So I'm gonna send somebody. I'm gonna put it in the private chat if one of you can share it.
And I did just pick up the video that we were just talking about, where the clip where he talks about killing He-Man twice.
Well, here, I'll try to share it. Yeah. Okay, I'll try to share it, and if it lags, let me know.
Okay.
Let's see. Uh-oh. One sec. This is not good.
Okay. I could bring it up for you.
Yeah, go ahead. Do it.
Share audio. Okay.
Absolutely the Luke Skywalker treatment, Spectre. Dead on.
Yeah, man. The parallels to Last Jedi are pretty crazy.
And just how they're all running cover for him now. Oh, it's the same way. It's the Rian Johnson effect.
Same thing.
Okay. Yeah, let me know when I can go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just once we were like, that was crazy courageous to do it in episode 1. We did it in episode 5 as well. Nuts. Can you believe that we killed that?
Like, he is so happy.
He's like, probably not a good idea.
This guy shut up. That's so, dude. It's crazy how he went from being that happy. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, like, if was that pre-recorded? Was that a pre-recorded video, or is that a live?
I think so. Yeah, this was their like after show on Netflix, I believe.
Okay. Well, it's crazy because later on in that day, obviously this was pre-recorded then, like previously to that day, but later on in that day when they did the live stream, his energy was so different. His energy was like Clownfish TV described it perfectly. They said it felt like a wake for Master of the Universe Revelations. Like, that's really what it felt like.
It did. Yeah. I think that's how a lot of the fans were feeling too.
Yeah, I just don't understand how he thought that this was going to be a good thing. Like, fans were going to accept this really well. Like, I don't understand that. And the simple fact that he just blatantly lied. I mean, you saw how he was responding to Clownfish on there saying, no, this whole show is centered around He-Man. It's like, but it's not though. Like, you killed him in the episode 1, and it would be different if like they were trying to save He-Man throughout the episodes. Then you can probably make that argument and say, okay, well, it is centered around He-Man because they're trying to save him. But he's dead. He's gone. He ain't coming back. And she's got to so he just blatantly lied about all this stuff. And that's what's making him look like such an ass. If he had just kind of stuck to his guns and didn't say, hey, I was the biggest mega fan, which he wasn't.
Not even that. I think that, like, I've been comparing it in my videos to the James Mangold and Indiana Jones 5 situation. It just makes you look very insecure about your show. Like, it makes you look very, like, not confident. That, like, I don't know the exact word to say, but it makes you look not confident at all in your show. The fact that you have to lie about what it's not even about. Like, I can understand how he said that he didn't want to bring attention to the He-Man dying thing because that's a big spoiler. But the fact that you're straight up just lying to your audience about what the concept of the show is, like the fact that it's going to follow He-Man the entire show, like, and it's not going to go in the direction of following Teela the entire show. That lie is not a lie protecting fans from spoilers. That's straight up deception of what, like, that's the definition of a bait and switch. And he's trying to say that he's not pulling a bait and switch, but
he
100%
also swore on his child's life for that too. Like, do not do that. It was in this interview too. He goes on to say that, oh, he didn't believe it was an actual lie. He believed what he was saying because he knows the full 10 episodes. But come on, like this. It doesn't look good. He had to do mental gymnastics to get around lying.
Yeah, and like I said, like he tried to act like what the stuff that he was lying about was big spoilers, and it's just not that big of a spoiler for like to know what character the show will be following. That's,
you know, if he just said nothing at all, no one would have even taken those rumors as, no one would have said it. Like, who knows? Everyone would have been like, He-Man dies. Yeah, okay, probably, yeah, sure. Like,
yeah.
You know, who knows? Like, you have no idea. But when you respond, then people will be like, oh, we got him. And well, and then you go down that rabbit hole. You're better off saying nothing at all and just ignoring it.
And there is a story to tell there. Because in that world, He-Man and Skeletor are keeping away these two different great evils. Like Skeletor is basically keeping the Horde at bay from coming in, and they are some of the, you know, the worst creatures. So it would be anarchy if they're gone. It's just they don't go about this the right way. One, they never set up He-Man there. Like, you need to get him involved and have the show start off, give a journey to that, or at the very least have some of these people try and get some justice for He-Man. Like the dad, the king, he doesn't do anything. He disappears after the first episode.
Yeah.
You're telling me a father that just had his son killed would not lift a finger? Like, he's the king. Like, let's get everyone, and we are going to track down every single person responsible. I mean, Teela would do that on her own. That could have been her journey, you know, just being so angry because she lost her best friend. And I believe it was, you know, hinted before that they were kind of together, or Adam and Teela were like in love. So she loses that and then goes off on this absolute, you know, bloodthirsty tirade to get revenge. But, you know, you have others step in to stop her. Is like, no, we need you here to take up, you know, essentially the mantle of the sorceress at some point to fulfill your destiny and not fall down that type of darkness. Like, that's what the villains do. You can have those people step in.
I think it's insane that they thought it was a good idea to have their centerpiece, because Teela was a centerpiece. That's who we followed. That was her point of view throughout the whole show, that we were going to relate to the fact that He-Man just died. The king and queen's son just died. Everyone's like gladiator or champion just died. And she goes, you guys were lying to me the whole time, and threw her crown down and walked away. And she was getting a promotion in the process of doing all this. Like, what are you, like, I just don't that's bad writing. Like,
yeah, the motivation is wrong.
They could have spun it to where, you know, it could have been a way better story if they wanted to, even if you wanted to kill He-Man in the first episode, which whatever.
It's becoming a lazy, my bad, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
He also talks about in these clips, like, the fact that he's not talking about when he dies in the first episode, but when he dies in the 5th episode, he's saying it's part of the hero's journey. Like, you have to die if you're the hero. It's part of the hero's arc. And that's just not true. that's a trope that's tired at this point, honestly. Just killing people off all the time and expecting people to be surprised. I remember riding to the theater with my friends to go to see Endgame, and I was like, I bet they kill off Thanos in the first act. Like, it's predictable at this point. Like, you're gonna kill off the person that no one expects you to kill off in the first episode of the first act. Like, that's what's gonna happen now in Hollywood. It's predictable. And then and also, that's not part of the hero's journey. You don't have to die if you're the hero. It would actually, at this point, before, I'm sure that it was more surprising if the hero died. But at this point, it's probably less surprising if the hero sacrifices himself to save everyone, because that's what happens in every single movie and every single TV show now.
Yeah. Well, and also for Tila, you did mention that she just became the man at arms. Well, in order to get that position, you have to be one of the, like the best fighter there and absolutely loyal to a fault. You don't just get that because you go off unhinged and act like a spoiled brat as soon as someone else dies.
Yeah.
Like, no, you stand up to try and help protect the realm because your greatest hero sacrificed himself.
Right.
And I think you can, like, He-Man can sacrifice himself and there'd be a story there. It's just the way they go about it. It's off-putting.
Honestly, if he would have, it would have been a lot better if he would have sacrificed himself in the 5th episode. Like, instead, like this guy's, like Angry Aussie says, he talks about the hero's journey, the hero's arc. He dies in the 1st episode, man. There's no arc there. It's immediate. It's
no arc, no journey. And did anyone else ever notice too the man at arms, her because that was her dad, correct?
Yeah,
man at arms.
Tila's father was he was the man at arms, or
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea.
He was the guy that was supposed to be able to bring the forge the swords together, but he couldn't go, so he sent the robot in place of him. The old man.
Are you asking what his title is?
Yeah, whatever his title was. But did you notice that I feel like they created this robot and did that so that he wouldn't overshadow Tilo? Because I actually liked his character and who voiced him. And they sent a robot who was essentially, I guess, a male, because it was voiced as a male. And they killed, I guess maybe his name's Duncan. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. And
but they killed off all the men too. They killed Orko, He-Man, the robot. But yeah, I just figured that I caught on to that. I was like, I'm surprised that they sent. Well, I'm not surprised that they sent this robot in place of the guy, because that character, I believe, like I said, his name is Duncan, was a well-liked character. He was voiced by that guy from Game of Thrones. I don't remember his name. I'm horrible with names, but yeah, I just found that odd that they would do that. Which, I mean, not surprising, because they don't want anyone to overshadow their Lord and Savior Tila.
That's what somebody said something up here that I wanted to. Oh yeah, also I want to talk about this because earlier I said that these critics have an incentive to give these things good reviews, but also they're just all like very, very much all of these critics have to be in Hollywood. They have to be in Los Angeles because that's where everything is, and they're in a bubble. Like, they're not seeing the same things that we're seeing in this show. They're not seeing the fact that the men are put down all the time to bring up the women, to prop up the women. They're not seeing that, man. They don't know. Like, they're so brainwashed over there that they have no idea what's going on.
Well, that was something he was saying and tied it to the hero's journey. That because he said people are complaining that He-Man and the men are emasculated in this, and then he says like that He-Man sacrifices himself to save everyone. Like, that's not being emasculated. Like, okay, he's totally misunderstanding the criticism there, because it's not the sacrifice that is the issue. It's how every guy is treated after that. They're all put down. Tila, when she runs into Adam again, yells at him for dying, and again makes it about herself. Like, I couldn't even be angry because you were dead, so I couldn't yell at you. Like, the guy just died.
He literally said, he's like, I was dead. Like, it was like your girl text, like, you didn't even text me. It's like, what do you expect?
And then they go have a race, and the guy Adam falls in the mud. There is so much undermining that goes on.
Well, they said it, these shows and these movies and their stupid little award ceremonies, they make all these movies and shows for them to pat themselves on the back, to make themselves feel better. It's really not for us anymore. I mean, it's very clear because especially just like the review bombing, right? Every time we review something or we give an opinion, it's just bots attacking, or it's just toxic fans. No, you're desecrating things that people find sacred that they grew up with, because we all have things that we love. Like Star Wars Theories is a great example of that with his whole like Luke Skywalker and why he likes Luke Skywalker. Like there's more to that character than just Luke to him. We all have stuff like that. I do with Ghostbusters and other things like, so they're not just things. They mean more to us, and they shit on them all the time like they're nothing, and then they wonder why we get mad, but we're the ones who are wrong.
Yeah, well, and Kevin Smith.
Oh, sorry.
That's all good. Kevin Smith in one of those clips. I guess we're gonna go through the clips in a little bit, but it seems like we're kind of covering a lot of stuff that they said in the clips. But
just tell me what you want me to play, because
yeah, it's all good. It's all good. We'll probably do it after I say this real quick. In one of the clips, he talks about how Netflix doesn't really care about the fact that the show's doing bad, that they don't really care about the fans. And I just thought that was pretty revealing, because most of these studios don't care. Like most of them, and it's crazy because you hire someone like Kevin Smith who has no prior tie. I think Young Ripple was talking about this in his video earlier today. You hire people like Kevin Smith who have no prior ties to these franchises. Like Kevin Smith not only had no ties to He-Man or Master of the Universe, he also didn't like it. And you hire people like this who just have no respect for the franchise that they're creating content for. And all of these studios do the same thing. And honestly, the Lucasfilm situation that's happening right now, the Star Wars situation, what they just did, they hired a YouTuber who did the Luke deepfake better than the professionals that did it in the Mandalorian finale. That's actually a huge deal. And I think that Star Wars, honestly, is in a much better shape for the future than a lot of other studios are right now. Like, maybe not Lucasfilm as a whole, maybe not the whole studio, but Star Wars, I think, is in good hands compared to Marvel. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't even care about Marvel anymore. Like, Marvel is done to me. Marvel's dead to me. Like, after the Loki finale, whatever. I don't want to go into that.
If you look at the swing of things, so like Star Wars, for example, they've been down for so long already. Like, they have to bounce back up now. Like, they realize, look, we're in a bad place. Marvel is still at the top of their roller coaster. They're still riding high from phase 1, so they haven't failed yet. Like, Star Wars has failed. That trilogy was essentially a failure. So they're on the upswing. Marvel's on the downswing. So Marvel is going to shit the bed, and it's going to happen. It's just, I mean, Black Widow wasn't, I don't really consider that a success. So, and I think these other movies coming out are going to be, and here we go now with He-Man.
I mean, it's not even just Black Widow, dude. They have that article. I think it's the Globe or whatever website that was that makes you pay to see the articles, like $35 or some ridiculous shit. I got the article for free on Reddit. Shout out to Reddit. But they talked about the Disney Plus numbers being like really down right now in terms of subscribers. And like, what have we gotten recently? All Marvel. We got the Bad Batch, but the Bad Batch is for like the diehard Star Wars fans and the kids that like Bad Batch. There are not many casual fans out there watching Bad Batch, but there are a lot of casual fans out there that enjoy Marvel a lot, and they're just not watching it for whatever reason it is. Whether that's
because the series have been pretty bad. Like WandaVision was not good.
I enjoyed WandaVision until the finale, and then I just thought it was a Falcon and Winter Soldier.
A lot of normies too, like that, aren't really into like Die Hard. They just like going to see these as movies. They don't want to see a weekly show. Like they just want to go to the movies and watch them and take their kids, and that's it. They don't want to, I know a bunch of people that they didn't even know the shows were existed because they don't have Disney Plus. They're like, oh, do I have to watch the show to watch? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not watching it. So I have no idea.
Yeah, I checked out of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's just like,
oh, dude,
I can't do this anymore.
It was, I couldn't watch the whole thing either. It was so, whenever that scene happened, whenever Falcon and Winter Soldier were next to each other, and the cop pulls up and walks up to the Winter Soldier, and is like, "This guy bothering you?" I was like, "All right, dude, I'm out."
I know, yeah.
I couldn't watch it anymore after that point.
I think I'm going to say this correct. Nisi, NG. I don't know. But yes, Eternals is definitely, that's the movie that is going to save Marvel.
Oh, God. That's when everything is going to crash.
You know what's like really annoying to me? The fact that movie could actually be so cool. Like, but it's not going to be. Like if they actually did, I don't know, if they actually would make a movie like that properly, it could be so cool, man. But it's
Most
just
of
not
these
fun.
movies can, if they decide to get off their woke, freight
Those are
train.
Oh,
But-
absolutely. Like there are good stories to tell in there, but when it's hidden behind, the identity politics going on right now, then the story becomes secondary. It's no longer pushing a fun narrative forward. You have to push forward the ideology, and things just fall apart because of that. Because you can't create cohesive characters. Like the dialogue will not feel natural.
Yeah, and then that lady came out the other day. I always forget what her name was, but she came and pretty much said something worse than anything that Kevin Feige has ever said. It's Kevin Feige's number 2, and I remember hearing like a year ago that he is grooming her to become the next head of Marvel Studios, and so that's what I'm saying whenever I say that Star Wars is in a much better place than Marvel is, because I don't know, man. It's not looking too bright over there. Like just the stuff that comes out of Kevin Feige's mouth is crazy. It's insane that he's allowed to say that stuff, but it is what it is, man. We all want to get into the clips now.
Yeah,
Sure.
Let's hop into them.
All right.
Like I honestly, I can kind of get when people are like, oh, I wanted like more He-Man in this show and whatnot. I want to say like, oh, just fucking wait.
Right.
Like episode. I'm not. Should I? Fucking why not?
I say episode 6 goes hard.
Episode 6. At the end of episode 6, we do something that they've never done in the franchise before.
You're gonna get more He-Man than you think you wanted.
And episode 7 contains no bullshit. And I know I'm going to say this, and then a very, very vocal contingency of the internet is going to say I'm lying or something
Apologize.
like that.
Atone.
That I'm baiting and switching or something like that. But
You already did that.
On my child's life. In episode 7, there is a Skeletor and spoilers, He-Man fight that tops anything. That's one of the most brutal fucking fights I've seen. The only brutal fight in animation I've seen more brutal was in Invincible when he fucking held his kid through the trains and shit.
So you're not worried about all the negative reviews, but you're gonna go and spoil the next season to make sure that people stay in, because he knows that.
Did you hear that? It's going to be really good, guys. We should check out the second half.
Right? Because
You don't have to do
the first one.
Hey, does anyone come out for about Invincible and say, hey, season 2 is going to be great. Here's what's going to happen. No, because that show was awesome, and I'm just going to watch it.
Like the fact that I just can't get over the fact that he has to spoil something that, I think we all kind of knew that he was going to come back at, like, I don't know, like it's a cartoon that's what happens. I thought that, like, I think we all knew that, but the fact that he has to go out and spoil that He-Man is coming back in the second part or the second season.
I didn't think he was going to lose, like he was going to be this crazy about it, to be honest with you. I thought he was just going to be like, yeah, whatever. But he's just, I think back in the day, he would have been like, yeah, whatever. Old Kevin Smith been like, all right.
That's another part that hurts, man, because I have a Kevin Smith Funko Pop behind me on my shelf. Like, I'm going to take it off now. Like, I've kind of lost all respect for the guy, but I used to be a huge Kevin Smith fan, like a huge one. Because I thought he was one of us, man. I thought he was a nerd. Like, but it's.
Well,
I think
he was like at one point.
Yeah, I forgot who it was, but they were talking about it, and they were like, he was like an outcast of Hollywood because nobody else was really like him. He was a nerd and he was an outcast, and now he's being, allowed into this Hollywood space, and he's becoming like everyone else in Hollywood. He's becoming a Hollywood shill and pushing the same agenda. It's sad, man. Sad to see.
Well, he's doing what he needs to do to stay relevant and keep making his movies, because we've all heard this from all these studios, right? The people, the insiders saying you have these check boxes and you gotta have so many of these people or so many of this gender, and otherwise, your story, they pass on good stories because they don't fit that bubble. And you remember that one article they said about where
ABC?
What was it? He-Man's
okay, totally different thing.
No, this is He-Man's he was in that heaven area, again, bad with names, but like He-Man's ancestor, they race swapped him. They made him black, and it's like, well, because they're like, we don't need two big blonde guys. It's like, well, that was what he was always blonde though. Just create a new character.
Everything is about that what people look like stuff. It's so frustrating.
And the director,
they're supposed to be related.
Yeah,
Like
one of
that-
the directors came out and was like, "Well, we don't want to make a new character because we might get pushback, where it might not be accepted." It's like, so wait, you didn't create a new black character because it's not going to be accepted, but you killed He-Man in episode 1. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Whatever, man.
Oh, there's so much going on with Kevin Smith. I know in this, I don't know if you have this clip, but he goes on to say that, you know, if you don't like something, just don't talk about it. It's not going to have the effect you think it is. Like, the guy made his career on standing up for some of these things. You know, he complained about the Star Wars prequels. Like, this is a part of, I don't know, nerddom. Like,
Yeah.
complaining about something that isn't done right. You know, getting called out for breaking canon or making just bad decisions.
I think that's something that he said. Yeah, I think you are echoing Matt a little bit. But that's one of the things that he said in one of those clips too. Or not him, but the guy that like jumps in. I don't even know who the hell that was, but he just jumps in and he's like, "If you don't like it, then don't talk about it or don't watch it." Whatever he said.
He's the guy that voiced Orko.
Oh, okay. Well, that's really stupid. That's a really stupid comment, dude.
It is. It really is.
And I feel like Kevin Smith wanted to shut him down too whenever he said that. He responded in a weird way. I forgot what he said. We'll get to the clip in a minute, I guess. We can move on to the next one real quick. Oh. Clips are gone.
Sorry?
Oh, you gotta stop it to go to the next one.
Well, I did clear it. Oh, I was looking for your link.
Oh, hold on. Here, I can just try to share mine.
Okay.
They were all in the same thread.
Oh, okay. Oh, that full. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, then yeah, that would have been pretty easy. I didn't realize it was all in the same one. Okay,
This is good. Or do I need to make it? Yeah, it's lagging. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I'll bring mine up.
Ah, dude, I don't understand my internet. It's so bad. I think season 2 will be He-Man centered. The thing is with that is the fact that you already ruined season 1, and a lot of your audience isn't going to come back for season 2. Like, well, I don't know. A lot of us are going to probably watch it because we're all probably going to be talking about it again. But a lot of the casuals are not going to be there. It's just the bridge is already burned.
Okay, so this is the next one.
Story.
Orko literally says the same line, "Go back to your shadows."
Does anybody know what character that is? Absolutely.
Interesting. And he stayed dead forever,
Yes,
right?
because once Gandalf died, that shit was
That
over.
was done.
So anybody like watching, like, I can't, like, there's a guy who's just like, "You're a fucking like terrible storyteller because you killed off Orko forever," and I'm like, "Forever, bro? Have you ever seen one of these fucking things?"
Yeah, what are you
like,
talking about?
oh my god! I was like, and even within the first 5 episodes, someone dies. 2 people fucking die.
Yeah.
They come back. Even the tree guy fucking comes back. Like, so at that point, you're like, are you fucking serious? Are you just denying reality? Like,
I saw
do
a
you
guy.
think here, even better,
Yes.
do you think Mattel, I'd walk in, I was like, you know what I want to do? Kill Orko.
Done. Money.
Yeah. Do you know what they would do? There's
They did it with
the
Luke.
Island Bill. You know, like, story.
Orko.
I wouldn't doubt it, man. I wouldn't doubt if he walked in there and said that.
Well, what this completely, again, because he openly said, right? He's like, Orko made this sacrifice because no one liked him, so we made this sacrifice and we wanted people to respect his death and all that. Well, if you're just going to be able to kill people off and then bring them back, then what's the point? Like, why do it? That makes 0 sense either. So again, he's kind of backpedaling at this point.
Because, dude, I totally know why he's doing this. Because, like he said, it's the hero's journey. They think that it hypes people up whenever they kill people off. Marvel has perfected it. You can kill anyone and bring them back to life in the next episode or the next movie. He even said he wants to Marvelize the He-Man universe. He's literally Marvelizing it, killing people, and then bringing them back immediately. That's what Marvel does. That's what he's doing with He-Man. It's so simple. Like, it's lazy writing. Like, somebody said it in the chat earlier. I think it was Kanisi. I don't know how to say your name, but I'm pretty sure you said it earlier. It's lazy writing to just keep bringing people back to life.
Yeah, that and time travel. I think those two things are the absolute worst because then there's no
Oh my god, this is going to have time
actions.
travel, isn't it?
Yeah, you could just there's no repercussions for your actions if you could just kill people off and bring them back at a whim. Like that's why I liked Invincible. Like that has everything had weight in that movie.
Yes,
the boys, you kill those characters, anyone who dies, there's weight to it. It's like
you're even scared about the main. It's not often like imagine. I don't think either of you have seen The Rise of Skywalker, but I just know the entire time when I was watching. Have either of you seen it?
No.
That's
plans.
We gotta watch it. We gotta watch it one day.
I refuse to watch that.
I do not want to see
dumpster
it.
fire.
Yeah, but I just remember watching Rey and Kylo fight all the times that they did in that movie, and knowing that neither one of them are going to die. But in Invincible, I'm even scared that Mark is going to die the whole time. Like you even think that the guy named Invincible, you think that he's going to die whenever he gets punched. It's scary. Like you really feel it, and you just don't feel it.
Fight with the dad. Holy shit! Like that was intense. I was edge of my seat. Like what is going on?
Yeah, man. It's an amazing show. And yeah, they announced that they're making a live action movie. I hope to God that they don't mess something up with that.
Well, they already did say that they're going to make it different than the show. So that's already out there.
But Robert Kirkman is going to be heavily involved because Robert Kirkman's involved in all of his projects, and I don't think he likes to stray too far from what he writes. He's very heavily involved. So, and I do have faith in Robert Kirkman. I think he's a good writer. Everything he writes is pretty much any books, comics, everything. There's Invincible, Walking Dead. I mean, I'm talking about the original Walking Dead. Like that was just spot on. So,
okay. But before I forget, can we just mention the world for a second? Because that drove me nuts too. So you have these two massive figures that are keeping the world essentially together and with order, and then they vanish. And what happens? You've got the rise of Scientology. You don't. There's no dissent. There's no destruction of the world around as everyone's trying to figure out how to live again as different factions are taking over and warring. No, one of the main guys goes to start a cult, and there's no pushback. Tila doesn't go in there to smack him down and take names. He's just free to run that.
Yeah, man. I honestly want to keep talking, but I want to get through all these clips, and it's already been 40, almost 45 minutes. I'm not trying to keep everybody for 3 hours. So
how we do it in episode 1 is he gives his fucking life. He sacrifices his life. Now, I've been accused of lying for saying that I'm like He-Man does no stepping aside. If He-Man giving his life for the entire universe is stepping aside, then Tony Stark stepped aside. Jesus
that is
Christ
the worst thing
aside.
to compare.
It's a messianic moment, and if you follow classic literature, the hero's arc, bless you, it's where the hero has to go. Eventually, you have to sacrifice your life for some.
But the
end of the arc,
we do it in
not the beginning.
Is he gives his fucking life. He sacrifices his life. Now, I've been accused of lying for saying that I'm like He-Man does no stepping aside. If He-Man giving his life for the entire universe,
this is the same clip. Play it again.
Oh yeah, it's
just played it again.
I couldn't see where the ticker was there.
Yeah.
That's I think where he goes on to discuss how he was emasculated. He's totally missing what people were upset about there. It's not just because he died. It's because of how all the characters were treated afterwards. It's also not the hero's journey when it happens at the start. When it happens in episode 1, that's not the hero's journey.
He clearly has no clue what an arc is. Like Casey said here, there's a beginning and it's literally an arc. It's got a start and end. You killed him if Iron Man died in the first Iron Man movie, that's not an arc.
Yeah, pretty stupid.
That means he's dead, and that's it. They didn't do anything. He's done.
Exactly, man.
Yeah, we didn't get to know the character. There was we didn't get to feel that motivation and the hurt behind it. Like the weight was gone.
It's that thing in Hollywood, man. They think that it's gonna be like it's gonna have some major shock value when they do that stuff now. When they kill off the character that you least expect in the first episode, it's gonna keep happening over and over. Obviously, Kevin Smith is a big Marvel fan, or maybe he's a Marvel shill. I don't know, but he said he wants to Marvelize the He-Man universe, and he obviously cries at everything that is involved with Marvel. So he watches it all. He knows what they do. He knows their tendencies, and he just used one of their tropes.
Yeah, and when and how the character dies matters too. That's where Ned Stark dying in season 1 of Game of Thrones was so powerful. It came out of nowhere. You did not expect that, and there was weight to it. You know, the character had a full growth throughout that first season leading up to this. Everything kind of worked together in order to lead to that moment, and then it happens.
If you wanted oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were done.
Oh, I was just gonna say we got to know him.
Yeah, it's just if you wanted to do like kill off He-Man as a divert your expectations or whatever, do it at the end of episode 5. Do it at the end of the part 1 of the first season, and then everyone leave that as a cliffhanger. Like, oh my, are you serious? They just killed off He-Man, and now Skeletor is the master of the universe. Now, what the hell are they going to do? Then somehow let Teela go on her little thing, bring him back, and then they could fight Skeletor at the end of season. Like, I just wrote a better story.
Yeah, but dude, there's a major problem with that though. Then you can't brag about killing He-Man twice.
Look what I can do.
Killed him twice. Dude, shut up. Nobody cares.
And then you also have to set up her motivation better than it was, because she has to be going on this journey for a better reason than being angry that 3 people kept the world's greatest secret from her. You know, the top people know about this.
Yeah, the girls' club had to run off and save the swords, all 3 girls and the robot.
It's frustrating, but we can move on.
It doesn't work when she does it for selfish reasons. It's got to be selfless or trying to achieve something.
Dude, that's the comment of the night, man.
Yeah.
That was great.
All right, let's go, Yeti. Let's move on.
Okay.
This is why I never worried about people are going to hate the show, because my bosses were 2 of the biggest Masters of the Universe fans on the planet. So
Sure
over at
like you, right?
Mattel Television, the guy that hired me, Rob David, he's not just a suit at Mattel. He has been writing Masters of the Universe comic books for DC for the last 2 years, Attorney of War, shit like that. This is why I never worried.
Dude.
Well, then he probably should have seen what the issue was going to be with, especially if it was going to be released in 2 different cuts. Because, okay, maybe the back 5 episodes changed the entire context, but the first 5 and leaving it where it does not look good, especially with everything that's come out prior to this. With it just looks like you're lying, bait and switching.
Yes.
That you just do not care about fans.
I think that again, they are very concerned about this because at the end of the day, this show they wanted to push toy sales, right? That was a big plus with this. And I feel like a lot of people, you're still gonna have some that, there are a lot of people that enjoy it and they like it. And if they do like it, hey, whatever. I don't, but I just think a lot of people are not going to buy these toys now and are pissed off.
Dude, so many people that I know that are in this YouTube space are the ones that would have bought those toys.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to buy they would have been some of your biggest customers.
Yeah, the fans, the ones that said that hey, we need to grow up and shut up. Those people are the ones that are going to buy this merchandise. Do you really think 8-year-old kids are watching this show and can give a 2 dams about this? No, they don't care.
And it's obvious that this was made for the people who already knew about the He-Man universe, because they didn't really do much explaining. They didn't really explain the He-Man character or anything before they killed him. Like they just
No.
he kind of just gave like he grabbed the sword, turned into the superhero, and died. Like they didn't do
Yeah,
anything.
he turned into Shazam, and
Right.
he started doing his thing. And if you have no idea about He-Man whatsoever, you're like, all right, what is this? Why does he turn into this? Why
Yeah,
why did that happen?
the Tila
But-
thing even makes less sense because
Yeah,
she's like,
the
you're like, why the
kids-
hell is she mad?
The only children that are really going to be into this stuff are the kids of the parents who were into this stuff. And if you just basically pissed all over the parents, they're going to be like, no, you're throw that in the garbage. You're not buying that. I'll buy a Rose Tico doll.
I do know that there's a bunch of people that canceled orders after this.
Well, yeah, I would.
And the funny thing is, he's put out other pictures with all the toys around him. All of that has He-Man front and center. There are no pictures of Tila being there, but that's not what the show was. Not the one that we got, anyways. Not there.
The good news is for people who want to buy those toys is they're gonna get them pretty cheap. Probably.
They're gonna be in all your little peddler malls and your little outlet stores for super cheap here in about a couple months.
Yeah. Was that all the videos, Eddie, or was there more?
Yeah, that was all the ones from the link that I saw, anyways.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna send you an article real quick.
Okay.
Here we go. There it is.
Yeah, it was I don't know, man. Part 2 is gonna be rough.
Rose Tico dolls may become major collector items one day. Dude, they really might. They really might.
They probably will.
It's a sign of an era, man. I watched this with my 7-year-old daughter and asked me if Tila was a man.
Oh my. Okay. I gotta find.
Yeah, if Tila was He-Man. Yeah.
No, there's a picture on Twitter that is just phenomenal that you have to see.
Well, in this article, I don't. The article is huge, so we're not gonna like read the article.
Yeah, it's a massive article.
But at one point in this article, Sarah Michelle Gellar, who voices Tila, says, "I thought it'd be a very small role because just looking at He-Man, I didn't even necessarily remember her. Then I started reading the scripts and I was like, oh, she's the show, and she's talking about Tila." It's like, dude.
Yeah.
Like, how do you think? For one, that just. I mean, obviously, we've seen the show now, so we know that Kevin Smith was lying. But imagine how Sarah Michelle Gellar felt whenever people were coming out and saying that it's Tila's show, and Kevin Smith is like, "No, it's not Tila's show. This is He-Man's show." Like, don't you think that probably made her feel like, "Wow, he's kind of embarrassed that this is Tila's show, huh?" Like, he's a little bit insecure about me being the star of the show. That kind of sucks. That's how I would feel.
Okay,
And
do you want to see this picture before we go into the article?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
And
good.
I will say this while that the voice oh yeah, I saw this.
So someone removed Tila's hair, and this is what you get. Like, that is the design of a man.
That's not even a young man. That's an old man. Like, grizzled.
That's a middle-aged man. That's
And this is something else I noticed throughout the show. Tila's like muscles get bigger as the episodes go. Like, she is jacking up on steroids.
Maybe when she went on her journey to become a feminist, she also started injecting testosterone too.
she started doing CrossFit and
Well, you notice, like, she's bigger than Adam. Bigger muscles. Like, she towers over the guys muscle wise.
Oh my gosh, dude.
And this seems to be the general trend with all the media right now, which it just boggles my mind, because it's essentially telling women the only way to be strong is to be like a man.
Yeah.
Like, it's not showing their own way.
Yeah, do they not realize it?
strength?
Do they not realize that that's not a very feminist agenda? That's kind of the opposite. Like, showing
It is.
showing them that they have to be a man to be strong is pretty opposite of a feminist agenda.
And I will say this, because you brought up Sarah Michelle Gellar, the voice acting for the most part of this was pretty good. The only two that I could not stand, I don't think Tila's voice with Sarah Michelle Gellar fit, because Sarah Michelle Gellar is kind of, well, it did fit because she's kind of whiny, but it shouldn't have it didn't match, but it matched her attitude. And I don't think Mark Hamill did a good job. Like, nothing against him. It just sounded like all I heard the whole time was a Joker. That was like, because he's done other voices before where he's played it off well, but I just like his laugh and everything, like it was just too much of the Joker. And it just kind of, it took me away from that. But
it sounds like the Mark Hamill villain voice. Like it doesn't even sound like Skeletor or any, like, I don't know. It just sounds like the Mark Hamill villain voice, but yeah, they 100% don't, man. That's why they write them to be men, because they don't know how to write strong females. But yeah, honestly, Yeti, just scroll to like the big quotes. We could talk about the headline, but just go scroll it down a little bit. There's big bold letters in a second.
Okay, I got you.
There you go. I know what a fan base reacts like when they don't get what the thing that they grew up watching. So obviously, it's crazy because in the actual content of the show, he contradicts that statement. But in the marketing of the show, he doesn't contradict that statement. He made the show knowing that people wouldn't like the actual content. But since he knows how fan bases react when they don't get what they grew up watching, he lied about it until the show actually came out. So the statement is true. He does know because he lied.
It's literally sales. He's selling his own, like everyone knows who he is, you know, that he's he's one of us kind of guy. So him saying all this crap is just kind of like reassurance to us, like, oh, see, he gets it. So this show is going to be great. And then we watch and we're like, are you kidding me?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, he even started to step back about admitting he was such a big fan after all those different videos came out saying he's like, oh yeah, I never liked He-Man. I thought it was a baby show.
Well, the latest article I saw, he said he hate watched it. He said he watched it because he hated it, and there wasn't enough stabbing going on in the show or something.
And then he mocked the comments. He was like, "Do you think Netflix really cares if I'm a fan? Do you think that whenever they saw the fact that I was a fan, they told me to leave and all this stuff?" And the whole time I'm thinking, and if I saw that the showrunner for my show hate watched the show that he's about to create, I would probably tell him to get out. I would probably fire him because he's not a good fit. But once again, he straight up admitted they don't care about fans actually creating this stuff. They have no interest at all.
So there's one thing where I think I would disagree with you there, because you are capable of making a good story, even if you weren't a fan to begin with. I believe the director who did Wrath of Khan, never watched the show, wasn't really a fan, but as soon as he got hired, he went in and watched everything and figured out what people liked, you know, what worked, and then developed the story that way. And it was, you know, turned out to be one of the best Star Trek movies. So you can do it. Like, you can go in even if you didn't begin to be a fan, but you have to understand it. You have to know why people enjoy this.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a possibility that you can hire someone that has no idea about the IP that they're about to make stuff for, and it can definitely be good. But as a probability, that's a possibility, right? But the probability is it's not going to be good. And if you hire someone that loves what they're about to create, the probability of them making something good is much higher. So as a studio, I personally would hire someone who's a fan, or at least has a lot of knowledge on whatever I'm about to create. That's what, I don't know. I don't want to get into any more deep discussion with that. We can move on. But I just think personally, I would rather have someone who's a huge fan of what they're about to
I totally get what you're saying. My point was, there are people that are capable. They just have to, you know,
do the research. I know what you're trying to say.
Do the research.
Respect.
They have to get
the
into the
research,
world.
Yeah. Mike Vega makes a good point. He said they lock the ratings on Rotten Tomatoes now, so that you can't.
Is it still locked?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Sure.
It doesn't surprise me. They don't want this to get worse. Plus, now, it's, if anything, people are going to make sure they go over there and dump a shit rating on it with knowing what's going on.
Why would they lock the ratings? But Kevin Smith said that he doesn't care about the bad ratings. So. Right.
I didn't realize it was still locked. I knew it was. I think yesterday. I had no idea they still kept it on lockdown, so nobody could add in any negative stuff. But you'll notice that all of a sudden, a bunch of really positive reviews will pop up. The score is going to go up 10%.
Oh man, it's so funny. But All right. This next quote says, "You really effing think Mattel Television, who hired me and paid me money, wants to do a effing Master of the Universe show without He-Man? Grow the F up, man." Well, maybe they didn't hire you to do that, but you kind of did that. So
Yeah.
you might be in some trouble. And to say grow the F up to a man that I don't like trashing on
Literally.
him for crying stuff, man. I don't like doing that. But when you tell people to grow up, it's kind of low hanging fruit. Like you cry at everything, man. Like you need to grow up a little bit. You're 50 years old and you're crying at everything. And I hate trashing on Kevin Smith, man. This hurts me to do, but
Well, and the thing is, right, it's like again, just like when you kill off every single character in a show all the time, it kind of loses its value. When you cry over everything, it's like, okay, we get it. We get it. You are really clapping for Hollywood right now. Maybe this, like, if the very first Star Wars that hasn't been out since so many years, I get that. You know, it's an emotional thing. But you're crying at every single thing. It's like, come on, man. It loses its value at that point.
So it does look like the user score or ability to put in there is still locked, and the score has gone up to 33% when it was much lower before.
Of course it did.
Yeah.
oh my God.
We don't care
Amazing
about
how
the
that
ratings,
works.
though.
It's been locked forever, but no, now it's up 10%.
No, yeah. Well,
Isn't there something on Rotten Tomatoes now where you have to like verify? You have to be verified. You have to like verify that. I don't know how it works for TV shows, but for movies, you have to verify you bought a ticket for the movie or something like that.
Yeah, for the movie. So with the TV show, they don't have the same way of doing that verification. It's more open-ended.
Okay, so you definitely can review bomb then, like with bots. You definitely can, but this wasn't that.
Except, yeah, people go and review it in the opposite direction too.
Yeah.
That has happened countless times. I believe that happened with She-Ra. That happened with Captain Marvel, because as soon as a bunch of guys came out and said they didn't like it, they're like, "Oh, this is a strong, powerful woman. We have to go put 5 stars, even though I didn't see this." And you read the review, and it's just like female power, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, IMDb is only at 4.7 views, and there's a lot of ones. So,
Oh man, that's kind of it for the big quotes for the article. Honestly,
Yeah, for the big ones.
that's kind of it for the He-Man. Unless y'all have anything else to say about it,
Well, this one here,
it's kind of hard to read. You can read it if you can see it.
Well, I'll admit the swears,
Yeah.
because I read this out on mine and it got limited, so I'll admit those. But he says, "I see people online go, 'Hey man, they're getting rid of He-Man.' Like, you really think Mattel Television, who hired me and paid me money, wants to do Masters of the Universe show without He-Man? Grow up."
Yeah, that's the one we just read. But
It's like that blew my mind. Bunch of people being like, "Oh, I smell it. This is a bait and switch."
well,
Well, it
yeah, I
was.
mean, it absolutely was bait and switch. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Anyone has a brain and can watch the show, whether you like, even the people that liked it or not, you know, you have to admit that this thing was, like I said, that teaser trailer with that song had all He-Man. It was all
I Need a Hero.
and it was He-Man fighting. It was the whole first episode, and everyone was dude. After I watched the season, like I said, I went back and watched it, and I got pumped again. I was like, I already knew it was gonna happen, but I was like, dude, this still looks amazing with that trailer in it, and they did that purposely. I didn't see Tila once in that teaser trailer. If they had Tila walking around with her short hair, I don't think many people really care.
No, they wouldn't, because people don't go to see it for Tila. Now, she is an important character. I'm going to say that. Like, there is absolutely a story to tell with her. Like, she's got a very interesting story. But you have to have He-Man. Like, you have to set up that world. You either do a series with He-Man first and then have your spin-off where he dies, or you set up He-Man and then take him out so she can try to build things, because she's integral, like, she's very important to the entire story.
Yeah.
Yeah, or I mean, there's so many different ways that they could have went about this, and they did it the total wrong way. Like they could have just done a He-Man show and a Teela show separately. They could have had He-Man be the main character of this show for maybe the first 2 parts, and then had He-Man die and take it off in a Teela direction. That would have been okay. Or they could have just marketed this as a Teela show instead of, like you said, whenever they had that trailer with the I Need a Hero and it was all He-Man, as like from that point forward, it all went in the Teela direction. Like the marketing slowly started getting more and more female centered. And as we see, whenever the show came out, it's all Teela.
Yep. Once that Netflix synopsis dropped and it said Teela is going to be, and it's like, everyone's like, what? wait, what?
Yeah. No, dude. Yeti, do not listen to this dude. Do not listen. He says that every single stream he comes in and says that about someone. He's a troll, man. Don't listen to him.
I'm like, shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I was just getting into it.
Dude, stop trolling all my guests. Always.
He's always here.
He's the wrench. I didn't even see that. You can't see that on the other side of the chat.
Dude. All right. Well, y'all want to talk about something else? Like, how y'all feeling about Dune?
Oh man, that trailer looks so insane. Dune looks nuts. I'm excited for it. I think they should just do a straight theater release though. I don't think they should be HBO Max. And then I think Suicide Squad comes out this weekend. I don't know if anyone's going to be watching that.
I'll probably watch it. I heard good stuff about it. So.
It looks interesting. Now it's DC, so I'm not, they tend to let you down time and time again. Oh, I didn't get to watch this. I heard
this was the last thing, and I think everybody's going to like it because if you remember how He-Man transforms, he goes into a complete Sailor Moon style transformation, and so you know what? I'll just play it. You can watch it. It syncs up so well.
Look at how feminine he looks there, though.
I know.
He looks like more of a girl than Teela did.
I know.
And that is never how He-Man transforms. They also do an ass shot on him with the, the flowing skirt.
Dude, I love the internet so much, but yeah.
So I just wanted to show that before we moved on.
Yeah.
When's part 2 of this supposed to drop?
Dude, I saw somebody on Twitter say it's 2 years from now, but I don't know.
What?
There's no way it's 2 years.
Dude, this thing is dead. If it's that long,
I saw Kevin Smith liked the tweet that said, "I hate that I have to wait 2 years for the part 2," and I was like, "Well, 2 years?
2 years?
There's
oh my! No, maybe they push it back 2 years, hoping people forget about this madness,
or they rewrite it or redo it. It's already made. I'm pretty sure, right?
I would imagine. I mean, if he's spoiling it already, or maybe at least the script's done, maybe they're doing the animation side. Maybe I don't know, but God, that was 2 years. What do you think?
It has to be wrong.
I would say maybe 6 months. I could see, but God, that's only 5 episodes, man.
Somebody let us know in the chat. Somebody has to know, right? Somebody. Maybe nobody knows.
I haven't heard anyone talking about it. I have no idea. But that's just bananas if it's waiting that long.
Yeah.
And then he's already spoiling it. So what's the he literally said that he attacked clownfish because oh no, that stuff leaked. I don't want people to know. He's like, hell with it. I'll just tell you what happens. It's like, what? Oh man.
That's when you know somebody's in panic mode, man.
Yep.
Just spewing out spoilers to keep people engaged.
Because 2 years from now, it's going to come back and be like, oh, part 2's coming. Nah, we're good. We're past. It's all right. We already know what's going to happen.
Look, if the show is not, if it's not finished, which I heard it is, but if it's not completely polished and finished and all, I wouldn't be surprised if they just said, nah, never mind. If it is 2 years from now that it's supposed to come out, I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix, I don't know, because Netflix makes stuff
Netflix is
Thunder,
weird.
Yeah, they make stuff like Thunder Force or whatever that show was called.
Well, did you hear they're doing, apparently Netflix just announced they're going to be doing a live action Pokemon show?
Yeah, I saw that, man.
I mean, come on. How
just
good
throwing stuff at a wall. That's all I do.
It's like, what's hip? What do people like?
Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
So I don't believe there's an official release date, but people expect that it should come out later this year. They're saying, when Netflix does this, there'll be a 3-month gap. So you
maybe
can usually
December
see it
or
around
something.
Halloween. Yeah, Halloween to December, somewhere around there, but it should be this year. Nothing official.
That'll be great to review.
2 years. Oh my god, it would be dead. It would be so dead.
It's crazy because he might not be completely wrong when he says that this is gonna help the show. Because if this didn't happen, like it actually went crazy on YouTube. How many people are like upset about this? If this didn't happen, I think a lot of people wouldn't have heard about the show. I saw Ethan Van Sciver talking about it. He was like, "Look, it's probably in our best interest to stop talking about this because we probably are bringing this to a lot of people's attention that would have never heard about the show in the first place."
Yeah,
but it's hard for me to not talk about it, honestly. Like new stuff comes out all the time. Like he keeps saying stupid stuff. Just shut up, Kevin Smith. And I will.
Did you see his tweet today when he was talking about Clerks 3?
I'll send you that.
And it's like he just keeps burying himself, and honestly now I think at this point he wants to create more buzz because it is, what do they always say? Any press is better than no press. Even negative press is good. Right. So it's because people are talking about you. So I guarantee you there's a lot of people out there that are like, what? Look at all these reviews. It can't be that bad. And then they go and watch it. And, maybe 1 out of 5 of those people are like, that's actually not that bad. Because I saw a couple people in my video, like in my videos, like, you blew this way out of proportion. And I was not even that critical about it. I was like, look, for what it is, it's not a terrible show. But the bait and switch is what pissed me off. And here it is.
Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier. I don't think people would be as angry if Kevin Smith didn't lie, if they named it something different, or if this is a spinoff, because there are good things in it. Like the animation itself is spectacular.
Very good.
Oh, it looks flawless. It's beautiful done that way.
So yeah, here's the tweet. I turned 51 a week from today as we start shooting Clerks 3, but at noon, the cast read the script aloud for the first time. Wait until Brian Haller, however you say that, finds out we kill off his character in the first act. My storytelling senses tell me audiences universally love that trope. So that's right there, just kind of like
he's mocking us.
Yeah, mocking the fans, being pissed off about it. And do I think this will affect the next Clerk movie? I think so. I think this will definitely affect that for sure. Because you have a lot of fans Justin, you're a perfect fan of that, right?
Yeah. I know a lot of fans around here like Clerks. Like whenever you talk about Kevin Smith, everyone's always like, look, I used to like Kevin Smith. I like Clerks. That's what a lot of people say. And all of these people around here, it's going to be a Last Jedi solo situation. It's not going to make money. I don't want to say that for a fact because it might, but I would predict that it's not going to do very well. It's not going to.
That's just because you're a toxic male.
Probably.
I loved all his earlier movies, Clerk, Mallrats. His later stuff, hasn't been that good. Like the movie Tusk was terrible. I hated that movie. It was painful to watch. But other movies were good. But I didn't think Clerks 2 was that good. It was all right. It wasn't.
I think whenever Kevin Smith makes stuff that's like iffy for me, well, up until this point, I've always been able to like be okay with it because of who I thought he was. Like being the nerd, being the fan. I was like, I'll let something slide because of who he was as a person. But now it's just like,
it's crazy how much he's changed and the things that he would say. I wouldn't even say on the stream some of the things he would say and then stuff in the movies and stuff. And now look at him. And it's just like,
well, it does seem to coincide a bit with when he was essentially accepted finally into Hollywood, because he spent his whole career on the outside trying to get in, and now that he's in, it seems like he does not want to step out of line. It's like everything is amazing and makes me cry. Like this is the most beautiful thing ever. He back in the day, he would tear things apart if it was bad.
Yeah, he's fallen from grace for sure. But I think this will affect his other movies, and I think, I don't know, like you said, EVS is kind of right. I think it is bringing a lot of views, and people are watching it, and I mean that's all Netflix is views. You know, that's all they care about. So
yeah, they don't care if it's negative or positive reviews. He's probably telling the truth when he says that. And I don't know if Netflix wanted that to get out. It's like I don't know if they
probably
wanted
not.
Like,
Probably not. I mean, you know, it's I don't know. Yeti's a Chad.
Roles, man.
Yeti's real name actually is Chad. No, I don't know.
Don't dox him, man. Nah, but it's really sad what's happened to Kevin Smith, man. I hope sometime in the future he'll come out and say, like, look, I messed up. I got caught up in the Hollywood world, and I apologize to all the fans who I offended during that time. Whatever he comes out and says. I hope he just acknowledges the fact that he did just get caught up in playing the Hollywood game and trying to climb the ladder or whatever he's trying to do.
You know that's not going to happen. There is no way
I have a hard time believing that he's been acting his entire life. I truly believe that like nerd, that fan is still in there somewhere, but you have to be held accountable for your actions regardless.
He cried for The Last Jedi. Okay? He put out a picture of him crying to that movie. The Kevin Smith back in the day that it would have watched The Last Jedi, he would have been raving mad.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I believe that he's still in there, but we'll see. I'm just I used to be a Kevin Smith fan, so that's all. I don't think so, man. Well, maybe he's eating a lot of soy now. I don't know.
Well, he went after his heart attack scare. He went on a full vegan diet.
Oh, so, that's why.
That's why he dropped all that weight.
Yeah. So one, he's eating a lot of soy-based stuff, and on two, when you lose weight very fast, your body ends up releasing a ton of estrogen, with that. Yeah. Incredibly fast weight loss.
All he had to do was lift weights and not be not be over. just lift weight. You're fine. Like you just burn it all off. Like what are you doing?
When you lose weight too fast, your body just because it's all stored in that fat, it just floods your system, and so it's you have to find a way to get rid of that. But that's what happens when you lose weight that fast. So there's a couple things. So he is eating a lot of soy.
Yeah.
That's
got to stick now forever.
Oh my god. I need to save that. I need to save that.
Screenshot that.
Yeah.
That's it. That's your new Twitter handle.
Oh, I like how he said gang his con.
Oh man.
Also, I just wanted to one last thing on Kevin Smith, and then we'll talk about some other things for like a little bit, and then
yeah. Okay.
But when he cried at the Last Jedi and the Rise of, like he talked about, I remember, dude, he got me so hyped for the Rise of Skywalker because he was saying that he saw the set for the final scene and that it melted his mind. And I was like, dude, what could it possibly be? I'm so excited. Like maybe they'll turn this whole thing around. It's Rey Skywalker, man. That's what melted his mind.
Well, see, that's what I think these studios, they realize, like, hey, he is that bridge between fans and Hollywood. Like, he's our inside guy. Fans listen to him. They believe him. They think he's one of them. So that's what I think happened. I think they paid him a lot of money. Like, hey, can you talk up this stuff? Can you say how great it is? And he's like, oh, I can get a lot of money doing nothing. Like I can get a lot of money just taking a picture of myself crying on TV. All right, cool. I can do that.
Or just being in those circles, like making those connections, making those friends that he's making. That's big time connections. Like I don't want to say the word like shill, but he's promoting a Disney movie, which is going to get him big time connections in Hollywood. Obviously that's what he wants, and it seems like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's get rid of the Kevin Smith talk.
It's easier for him to make his movies then, like it was harder in his career to make those movies, especially when you're talking out against Hollywood. Because what production company would say, yeah, sure, we'll do your movie, but you're going to shit all over Walt Disney. Like it's not profitable for them. So Yeah.
Well, he did crowdfund one of his last movies, so he does know how to do it outside the system.
He used to.
I can't
He just burnt
remember.
that bridge.
Yeah, I can't remember which movie it was specifically.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't think it was too long ago though.
But indie movies are just kind of dying now, and it's not the indie movie creators' fault. And it's not even Hollywood's fault, really. It's the fans' fault. Like, everybody always complains about there's no indie movies coming out now. They're coming out, but nobody's watching them. Only people are watching Fast and Furious over the indie movies. They're watching, Star Wars, Marvel.
Yeah, the coat is the Jay and Silent Bob movies. Silent Bob always had the big over trenched coat with the backwards hat.
Oh yeah.
So that's where that's from.
Anybody know the movie that he crowdfunded though?
Wasn't it that one with his daughter in it? I don't remember what it was called. I thought it was something with his daughter. His daughter starred in it.
Was it the Walrus movie?
Well, she was in that, but there's kind of like a attached sequel, but it's not. It's in the same universe where it's because the daughter was the convenience store clerk in the Walrus movie. It's like that character, but it's her own movie. I don't remember what it's called though.
I don't know.
But whatever that was, I can look it up.
I
don't know, man.
Okay, so I think I see Red State as one of them. I don't know if he's done it for others.
That's actually
Yoga Hosers.
Yoga Hosers.
Yeah, I think that's the one that was crowdfunded, but I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I had no idea he did Live Free or Die Hard. I had no idea.
Wait, he did?
Yeah, that
I had
reminds
no
me.
idea.
That reminds me that Bruce Willis and him got into it big time. Because I remember reading an article about it. I didn't know that he was in charge with Die Hard, but him and Bruce Willis like butted heads big time.
I never heard about that.
Mhm.
Was that the one that was absolute trash, or was that one kind
That's
of
the one
okay
with Justin
before?
Long as it's like the fire sale and the terrorist was taking over and he shot a car into a helicopter.
So the bad one?
I mean, I enjoyed it. It was a Die Hard movie. I like Bruce Willis's what's his name?
Yeah, named his daughter after a Batman character and his wife dude. That's what I'm saying. That nerd is still in there, but we got to break him out. He's under the Hollywood spell right now.
Hey man, everyone should name their kids after a Batman character. Okay, that's a fact.
But
Any kid I have, middle name is going to be Batman.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick.
Remember, those kids have to go to school one day
and be named Batman. Be named. Who's going to make fun of Batman? Come on.
When they're young, probably not many, but when they're older, probably a lot.
High school, yeah, it's probably a couple.
Who? Name one.
Hey, Bruce, smack him in the back.
All right, Yeti, what are you thinking about doing, man?
Oh, that trailer looked fantastic.
God, that looks so good.
Oh,
it looks so massive. Like the
Yeah.
scale in that movie or in that trailer is just. That's what's like. I think you said that. That's what Star Wars should have been. I remember seeing some of that on Twitter. Like that's what Star Wars should have looked
I think
like.
there was someone who saw the movie. Someone reviewing it.
Chris Gore, huh?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. You sent the link for
Yeah.
that. Yeah. He said it's what Star Wars should have been. And then I think he said it wasn't just a movie. It was like an experience, something crazy that just makes me excited for this.
Everything is pointing upwards for that movie, dude. Like the Dennis Villanueva, awesome. Awesome. Also, I didn't even know that Hans Zimmer was scoring it like until a couple of days. I didn't know that, dude. So I was just watching a random reaction video and somebody was like, "Ooh, that Hans Zimmer score." And I was like, "Hans Zimmer score? What?"
Yeah, there's a lot of big time names in this, and I'm excited about it. The cast looks great. The effects look great. I don't think you said something like pointed out something like, was it towards the end or something like that?
CGI looked a little bit like when they first started doing the Iron Man CGI, like when they first started CGIing Robert Downey Jr. into the Iron Man suit. It looked a little bit like that for me, but it might just not be done yet. I don't know.
It's probably not. When's the release date for this?
October 22nd, but it was supposed to come out, I think, December of last year, right? Or no?
Yeah, it's been pushed back for quite a bit, I thought.
Yeah. Also, we can do this again, but I got copyright claimed on my last stream, but I really don't care that much.
I took off the audio,
Yeah, it'll be fine, man. But
and
WB
as long as
probably
we
doesn't.
pause it, I think that's okay.
Well, I think you have to have like a thing over this, even the video too. I'm
It's
not
Warner
sure.
Bros, man. They're gonna claim it no matter what. But
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you have an overlay?
like to go over the actual screen. I don't know.
Yeah, just to obscure it a little bit so that you 100% don't get claimed.
I need to read the book. I've heard the book is really good.
I'm reading it right now, man, and I already kind of knew a lot about it, but
I know nothing about it. Going in, is there multiple books or is it just one?
oh yeah, there's a lot of books.
Is it like a series? Okay.
Yeah,
and
series, and then his son picks up because I believe the original creator died, so he took off where his dad left.
Oh, okay. Well,
they're already developing a prequel to it,
really?
which I'd rather them just do a sequel, but whatever. You can just play it, Yeti, man. Screw it.
Do you want any audio?
Nah, keep the audio off.
Okay.
Because I don't want to keep getting copyright claims over and over again. Honestly, play the audio, man.
Okay,
Oh,
then I'll pause it so we can talk about some of this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Because
It'll get claimed anyway, but it's not a big deal.
Well, it looks like it's shot beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it just
I
that
wonder where
opening
they shot
scene
it.
there. Like I did not think you could make sand look that exciting.
Right.
You know?
I wonder if this is all on location or if this is a set or what, but
Oh, there's probably multiple different ways that they filmed it, because I'm assuming it'd be very hard to just do both. You know, to have the same special effects and have the natural sand, because that would probably take a lot of CGI work.
yeah. I can fill you in real quick on everything that I know from the book. I'm like only like a quarter of the way through the first one, so I really don't know anything. But so far, the spice stuff, I don't know if y'all know what that is yet. Also, let me know in the chat if I'm saying anything wrong. But the spice stuff, like she says she can see the spice in the air or whatever on her own planet, Zendaya, when she's talking, that gold like particles in the air, it helps them space travel, and it if you like inhale it, it like opens your mind up to an insane, like you're like super smart, you're super fast with your thoughts and all that stuff. So that's like super important for them. And
Doesn't it also extend life?
Oh, does it? I didn't know that part.
I think I can't remember right now.
I didn't know that part. But also, so far, I don't know anything. But the guy Paul, the Timothy Chalamet, however you say it, his mom was like ordered to have a daughter, and she had a son on accident. I don't know if they can actually control what they have or not, but he's not supposed to be like a fighter in the field. So I think that end part, whenever he's fighting, is going to be important for whatever reason, because he's supposed to be.
Oh, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it absolutely hugely important to the story. Essentially, his journey. Well, I guess how much can I say? Like, how much do you
No, you
want to
can
know?
say anything. Say anything. Okay.
Because at the start, his family is watching over the planet, because there's only one planet in the universe that has this particular item element, which is called spice.
Yeah.
So everyone wants to control it. Whoever controls it controls power, because it's how they do fast travel to get everywhere. So it's very important on multiple different levels.
There's an idiot.
And so the main character, it starts with that important family, and then it's his journey to work with the people on the spice planet.
It's called Arrakis.
Yeah, Arrakis.
Yeah, I know it's nicknamed Dune.
Yeah, there's details. It's been a long day, so there's details I know I'm fuzzy on, but
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. I don't expect you to be able to recite the entire story of Dune.
Yeah. Tell us the whole synopsis.
And
But is
so-
he like is the Paul guy like sheltered? Like he's with the women all the time, and then he becomes like a fighter.
Well, yeah, because he's being trained to become a leader to take over. So he's being trained in all these different arts in combat, and then there's the roles for being psychologically strong, so that you can't get manipulated by essentially all the other warring families that want power, because there's all this different tech, so his mind has to be able to stop from interrogation and not revealing things through too many emotions, like a lot of physical control.
Okay. Well, let's watch this trailer real quick, and then I'll probably end the stream because I don't want to keep y'all too long.
The outsiders ravage our lands in front of our eyes.
Whenever they have the blue eyes, is that like an overdose, or is that just what happens when they take it?
Yeah, that's from spice.
Is it like a bad thing when you get the blue eyes?
No, that is not bad.
Okay.
Oh god, something happens. When you get the blue eyes, I think you're. Oh, I can't remember that part right now. Jeez, I'm sorry. Somebody else has to fill me in.
It's
But
all
it's
good,
a
man.
good
Man,
thing.
yeah.
It is a good thing.
Don't worry about it.
It's like your mind is more open, and you're more a part of Arrakis.
I knew that it happened when he took spice. I just didn't know if it was like an overdose thing.
No.
Is
Yeah,
that
that
what's
is
his
not
name?
negative.
Who is this?
Dave Bautista.
Yeah. Okay. I'm horrible with names.
Is
Man.
he like on the not House of Atreides side?
See all these names. This is where a lot of this stuff gets fuzzy for me, because I've only seen the original movie. I haven't read the book yet, which I really want to read before this comes out. Because again, like you said, it is supposed to be really good.
Dude, I'm only like a quarter, or maybe like halfway through the first one, and it's really good. It's already really good.
And this movie, I believe, is only part one. There's two parts. So the first movie that came out, they tried to condense it, and there's just way too much information in order to pack in. So they had to cut out so many little details that are helpful for building the world and the story. So there's two parts to this.
Yeah, people are saying in the chat that they think Dune is going to suck and they hope it's okay and stuff. I honestly think with the people that are involved, from everything that I know about Dune, with the people that are involved, like the director, apparently he really cares about the Dune franchise. I think that this is the best chance that we have of getting good Dune movies. But if it's bad, then it's bad. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I got faith, though. I think it's going to be good.
Well, just look at some of the actors.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty stacked cast.
I try not to get hype anymore on anything, just because
I know.
it gets every time it lets you down. So it's like even like the new Batman Flash movie coming out with all the leaks, and you see old 89 Batman, and I'm like, oh man, look at the old, and I'm like, oh wait, look at the writer. Never mind. They wrote Birds of Prey, so I'm good.
Yeah, that's why, man.
Oh,
I don't want to keep going for too long, but I feel like Star Wars is in a good spot right now. Because I feel safe with getting excited for certain things in Star Wars. With Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni creating things, I feel safe getting excited for Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka and stuff like that. I don't feel safe getting excited for anything that Marvel's doing. Or
you feel safe wrapped in their tight, strong arms.
Yeah,
David, for the record, I don't know anything about Dune. I'm not explaining anything. I'm just along for the ride, and I'm gonna watch it when it comes out.
I'm gonna say right now that I do not know enough. I'm just trying to fill in the things that they don't know. So
Yeti's our live stream expert of Dune. So.
he hasn't read the books, so we're kind of
do not count me as an expert. People can jump in when I'm wrong.
Wait, what was your
There's
new
just small
name?
things.
Yeti? Yeti. What was it?
Undercock or some shit.
Chad
Thundercock.
Chad Thundercock the fifth, the last son of Genghis Khan.
Gang his con.
that is how you will address me.
But yeah, like Argo says there, at this point now, all my expectations are low. Like Suicide Squad, I'm kind of hyped for it. Like I want to. It's probably gonna suck though. But like, so I'm not gonna let myself.
I don't
down.
know, man. I heard good things.
Yeah, but we always do. And then and then it goes to. But I don't know. I hope it turns out good. I'm not gonna just crap on it. So I want it to be good. I want this to be good too.
I don't think it'll be like mind blowing good, but I think it might be fun.
It'd be fun, yeah. Like I didn't expect Tomorrow War to be fun, but it was fun. It was, it wasn't great. It was fun though.
I honestly, I feel like Chris Pratt has a presence on screen. I don't know if this is just me or not, but whenever I see him on screen, like it just lifts my mood a little bit. No, come on, bro.
No, he's just a fun, good dude. Like he's always funny. Like he just, no, I get it.
You heard it here first, right from him. Whenever he sees those rippling muscles, he gets a little excited.
Nah, I like Tila's muscles more.
A little tingle downstairs.
Yeah, Tila's the muscles for him.
Yeah.
That half-shaved head.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
My people is all I've known. What's to become of our world?
Boy.
I'm just stopping so you don't get claims so we can talk about it.
Yeah,
so
I mean, I'm gonna get claimed, but somebody said earlier that actors don't really mean anything, and sometimes that is the case. Like I feel like sometimes they'll stack a cast just because it's a bad movie and they want to get people excited and go get people to go and see the movie. But I kind of don't think that model works anymore. I don't think that the movie star model works anymore. I don't think people are going to see movies because of the people that are in it anymore. I think it can help, but like if a cast is stacked and the movie looks really good, like Dune, it can definitely help. But I don't think that stacking a cast will save a movie anymore at the box office.
No, you got to have good writing to back it up. If the writing's bad, then and the actors are, it doesn't matter who you have in it if it's written terribly.
Right.
So.
There was one movie in particular. It had Brad Pitt and I think Cameron Diaz. It was just
that's true.
Stacked.
The Cats movie was stacked. Yep, and that was that was an abomination.
That's because they didn't release the butthole version. It would have been saved if they had that.
Come on, dude. I wish I was around on YouTube to talk about Cats when that came out.
Oh man. Content for days.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Duncan, can I trust you with something?
Yes, always. You know that.
I've been having dreams about a girl on Arrakis.
They got a little wet.
I don't know what it means.
Dreams make good stories. Everything important happens when we're awake. Hey, you. Put on some muscle?
I did?
No.
Well, like didn't Dua Lipa just get cast in a movie recently?
Sorry?
Didn't Dua Lipa just get cast in a movie recently?
I did not hear that again.
I don't know.
Oh, am I lagging?
It cut out for me.
I'm pretty sure there's a movie right now, like just talking about stacked cast. There's a movie right now that's just casting everybody because they think the movie is going to be bad, and they're even throwing Dua Lipa in there just because she's a hot name right now. I can't think of what the movie is though.
Oh yeah, I have no idea.
Then I'm no help. I am bad with names.
She's a singer. She's not even an actor. But you can just keep playing it, dude. Don't worry about it.
We are House Atreides. There is no call we do not answer. There is no faith that we betray.
Smile, Gurney.
I am smiling.
The Emperor asks us to bring peace to Arrakis. House Atreides accepts.
I know you. There's something awakening in my mind.
You need to face your fears.
Okay, do you just want me to play the whole thing without worrying? You'll just
real quick. The movie's called Argyle. It's a spy thriller, and it has Henry Cavill in it. I don't know if y'all heard about that.
Oh, it's this upcoming movie about to be or coming out soon, I think, or it's working on it now. Yeah,
it has Henry Cavill, Sam Rockwell, Bryce Dallas Howard, Bryan Cranston, Catherine O'Hara, John Cena, and Samuel L. Jackson, and Dua Lipa.
You had me till I heard John Cena. I was like,
I thought it was John China.
I was like, all right, I'm down for that. And I heard him, I was like, oof, no. He must be the Chinese spy in the movie.
Oh man, not to stay on that for too long, but that video that he posted about the China stuff, that was one of the like creepiest things I've seen. Like,
have you seen the other ones that he's posted? Where he's like, oh, they're rough, man. He's like advertises something like he's eating some food, and I don't even want to mock him because it's just I would not put myself through that. I'll find it to you and I'll send it to you. It's terrible.
That's sad, dude.
Oh yeah, the one where he keeps saying like repeating the name of whatever he just poured.
Yeah, and he's like just repeating it over and over again. He's got that weird face. He looks like dude.
Oh, it is so cringeworthy.
It's the creepiest thing I've seen.
It physically hurts to watch.
I kind of disagree with Richard here. I would like to see because like Yeti said earlier, this movie is going to be in 2 parts because of how hard it is to fit it into one movie. But at the same time, you have to see this in theaters. Like, it just looks like a theater movie. It looks like an IMAX movie.
Oh, it's an IMAX movie for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I don't think anything is ever going to kill Star Wars, man. I don't even think Disney could kill Star Wars.
Oh, they're getting close.
At this point,
I wouldn't mind it. I'm gonna be honest, man. If Dune is so good that it kills Star Wars, I would not be sad. I would be very happy for Dune.
Well, the fan base is massive, and it's not like they've had the same amount of releases as Star Wars has. It's just been the book and like the one movie, and they're still I don't want to say fanatic, because that would be the wrong word, but passionate. I think, absolutely. So I don't know. I think Fatal J might be right. Like, there's a possibility.
Dude, you ever met Star Wars fans? They're very obsessed. But what I think Dune is doing a very good job of like, this trailer was very good at getting the casual audience, like the non-Dune fans, excited for Dune.
Yeah, I've never heard. I've seen I've heard the rumblings of the book and heard it's good and everything, and know nothing about it. And I saw this, I was like, yo, I am down. Like, I want to see this. This looks amazing.
Exactly.
And the score. Okay, I'll hit play again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Come with me.
Is that Young Ripa?
You've never met Hercules before. They're not human. They're brutal. Duke suddenly sees too much.
This is my Dune. Kill them all. God in heaven.
Oh, that just like gives chills.
It's so massive. Look at that. It's crazy.
And
it just looks like an epic, man.
Yeah.
The score hits at the right moment. Like, whoever scored this needs a raise.
Yeah, whoever made this trailer, I mean, it kind of follows the dun 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 dun. Like, that's kind of like trailers now. But
I think it was a bit more than that, though, because I know what you're talking about. That blaring foghorn that's in everything. This just seems more visceral. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, this trailer definitely stands out compared to other trailers, but I'm just saying, like, that like whenever they do the 3 or the 4 whatever bass drops, it's like dun dun dun, and they just like cut to the beat. That's like kind of what trailers, because I'm pretty sure the same company does a lot of these trailers for most of these big movies. It's the same company, so they're very similar. But this trailer, it stands out for sure.
Anything with guns off the ground, go!
This is an
Josh Brolin is always good.
Yeah.
They're picking my family off one by one.
Let's fight like demons.
What's up, man?
Dad, what if I'm not the future of House Atreides?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I don't even know what that thing is yet.
Wasn't that in The Mandalorian?
That's the worm.
Or what was Tremors? You remember that movie from the 90s?
These are, the giant worms that live on this planet, and they sense everything in through the vibrations in the sand. So whenever they're mining, it's a huge danger, because that'll create vibrations, and they'll come and eat everything, and essentially take away all the spice.
I don't know who popularized the foghorn thing.
That was Christopher Nolan from Inception. I believe the first trailer, that's when it all started.
This movie does look very sandy, man.
It does.
Anakin would not be a fan. All right, let's go.
A great man doesn't seek to lead. He's called to it. But if your answer is no, you'll still be the only thing I ever needed you to be. My son.
I think that butthole just winked at us.
So
that's the butthole missing from the Cats movie right there.
Do you know why it's not eating him? Like, why is he able to just stand there?
Okay, so there's a whole lot of lore, and
all right, you don't have to go into it all.
Yeah, it's fine.
And I'm going to butcher it. I want everybody to know I am going to butcher it.
You're gonna get yelled at for sure.
I know I will.
Somebody in the chat just let us know why he's able to control it or why it's not eating him.
Well, he's on the rocks right now, so he's no longer on the sand, and the worms can't get through rocks.
Oh, okay.
But it can go. He was literally like 30 feet in the air, though. He could have just reached down and ate him. But
yeah,
and like so much of his training is being able to survive on this planet. So he learns how to walk because if you just walk in regular steps at a regular pace, that would trigger a worm to come and eat you. So he's trained to walk in an unpredictable fashion and stagger the way he moves. That way you don't attract worms. Things like that. Yeah.
David Carleon's he's getting a little sassy, man. I don't appreciate it. So. Let's keep going.
Son, if anything happens, will you protect Paul?
With my life.
Only together can we stand a chance.
Man, those fights look exceptional.
Is it Snake Eyes?
Do you see what I mean, though? Like, rewind it like 5 seconds. Now play it. Look at this whole battle scene looks CGI'd, right?
Yeah.
Now,
there probably is CGI there to get more, more bodies on screen.
Now let him open the helmet. Doesn't that just look like it doesn't fit? Like his head just doesn't fit.
Like his face, yes.
That's my only complaint. I mean, it doesn't look horrible. It's just like with a movie as big as Dune, like as epic as this looks, I don't want that to be something that takes me out. I really don't.
I know all the suits are very important too.
I agree with that comment. They always do that. Like they have to take the helmet off to see their face because they're,
Yeah. He just killed somebody. He's like, let me look at the camera real quick, get the shot.
Yeah. Let me take off my protective gear so you can see my sweaty face.
Oh, there's even actors that put that in their contract so that
they have to take it off.
That way everybody knows that's who's.
Wasn't that the whole acting. Mandalorian issue because his face was covered the whole time and Pedro Pascal or whatever?
Yeah, and then the other Mandalorians showed up and were able to take the helmet off. He's like, "What the hell, man? I was told I can't do this."
He was like, "Well, you're a dude. See, the girl can. Like, you can't. Duh."
That y'all know Sheev, right? In the group chat, Sheev the Wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows somebody that's on the set of The Mandalorian. I don't know if he wants me to say this or not, but he said it on stream, so I think it's okay. But apparently, the whole like Jon Favreau versus Pedro Pascal thing was because Pedro was high showing up to the set every day, and the Mandalorian his helmet would get fingerprints on it very easily, like as you would assume with a helmet that looks like that, and he kept taking it off between takes, and it kept getting fingerprints all over it. So Jon Favreau was getting pissed. Apparently, that's what he said, man. He knows people on the set. So
you heard it here, folks. Well, we heard it second.
Be in there though, because they had a body double most of the time.
That's true. I don't. Yeah, that's true.
He was just in what do you call it?
Well, maybe he was getting high because he was annoyed because he was like, well, if I'm just gonna be stuck in this thing all day, I'm just gonna
We'll be baked doing it.
Yeah, the audio bay. It was doing all his lines there.
Yeah, I think he only took his helmet off in the last 2 episodes, right?
Yeah, because that was it season 1 where he got injured and Cara Dune took his helmet off. Yep, and then at the very end when Luke showed up.
The robot took his helmet off. That's why it came off.
Yeah.
He's a robot.
Oh,
so
yeah.
There was no human can see my face, and robots. I'm not a human. You know.
Yeah.
Well, look, everybody. This was a great stream. I appreciate Matt and Yeti. I'll get y'all links real quick before we end the stream, and I'll put them in the chat. But everybody needs to subscribe to both of them. I appreciate both of them for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'll be I think Suicide Squad drops this week. If it does, I'll be doing a review of that. Hopefully it turns out well. Oh, look who's here.
Right
What's
at
up,
the
drunk?
end, of course.
Yeah. Oh, always every
Right
stream that I'm in, he shows up last minute, like Force of Light. Everybody's always coming in at the ending.
Yeah, and also Matt, if you enjoy this this Kevin Smith He-Man coverage, he does a lot of that as well. So
yeah, I've been covering and doing a couple videos on it. It's I cover everything. I don't just cover anything in particular.
there's Yeti's link. Y'all need to subscribe to Yeti, and then I'll put Matt's link in right here.
Oh, thanks.
I appreciate everybody for coming.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The time flew by for sure.
Yeah, thanks for everyone being here. And yeah, Black Angus, it can't be as bad as the first one, but you never know. It is DC, so nothing. I don't hold anything to high regard anymore, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate everybody for coming. I'll be doing a lot more streams on my channel, maybe even later on this week. I don't know if we're doing the Friday stream on ABJ's channel or not, but if we don't, I'll be streaming on my channel. I appreciate everybody for coming. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. I'll see y'all next time.